Hey guys, welcome to the Silver Report. Here we are, it's Monday, April 10th, 2017. We have gold currently trading at $1,252.10. Silver's trading at $17.89. And let's get right into some of the economic factors that will be playing a part into the price of precious metals. We had reported, back whenever the Federal Reserve was touting about this idea of raising interest rates, about the mounting amount of consumer debt and business debt. Overall debt in the United States has been astronomical, and that it would cause an increase in bankruptcies. What we've seen, commercial bankruptcy filings from corporations to sole proprietorships, they've spiked 28% in March from February. That's the largest month-to-month move in the American Bankruptcy Institute's data series, going back to 2012. They're up 8% year over year. Over the past 24 months, they soared 37% bankruptcies. So right now they're at 3,658. That's the highest level for any March since 2013. Commercial bankruptcy filings, they skyrocketed during the financial crisis, and they peaked in the middle of the financial crisis. So this was the canary in the coal mine, showing us just where we are in the economy. So they peaked in March 2010 at 9,004 bankruptcies. So we're approaching that level, considering this rise. What we see is that March, we saw an astronomical raise. Back in 2015, what took place was it seemed to bottom out briefly in the number of bankruptcies that were filed. And continuing since then, we have had increasing numbers. So what are they going to blame this on? Brick and mortar retail, which is in terminal decline. It's dying. The stress of the larger chain stores, but brick and mortar retail includes countless smaller operations and stores that no rating agency follows because they're too small and can't issue bonds. And many of them are even more distressed. Businesses file for bankruptcy protection because they have too much debt. Brick and mortar retailers with large amounts of debt are toast. They're wiped out. And now let's take a look just at the consumers. What we've seen, not all consumers, but those with mounting piles of debt and stagnation or declining real incomes, and which that's almost the entire country. They've been hanging on by their teeth with bankruptcy filings consistently declining since 2010. That ended in November 2016. In December, the month after, bankruptcy filings, they rose 4.5% from a year earlier. In January, they rose 5.4%. And it was the first time consumer bankruptcies rose back-to-back since 2010. And it's a red flag. It's a red flag. In March, consumer bankruptcy filings rose 4% year over year to 77,900. So what we've seen, the total U.S. bankruptcy filings by consumers and businesses in March, it spiked 40% from February and rose 4% year over year. That's the highest since March 2015, so we've reached a turning point in which the bankruptcies are increasing again. The Federal Reserve, they've purposely encouraged businesses and consumers to borrow. We've been riding at 0% interest rates, but the issue is you could borrow the money, but debt doesn't go away. Now, they adopted this monetary policy in what they called an attempt to renormalize the economy, to try to jumpstart the economy, to bring some life back into the economy. But the one thing that they could not bring life back into was spending, was purchases. People bring up often, and it's largely because of some of the articles you read in the Wall Street Journal. Oh, well, they're not counting internet sales. They're not counting internet sales when retail sales are down across the board. A lot of people aren't understanding just the magnitude of Sears, JCPenney, Macy's all going out of business. And we discussed how Polo's on the rocks. A lot of people fail to understand Ralph Lauren sells suits inside of Macy's. Ralph Lauren sells suits inside of JCPenney. And a lot of major brands are pushed specifically through these stores. And as these stores collapse, so will these brands. And they're left with attempts to try to save their company. So people thought, oh, it's only one store, but they're failing to really understand the magnitude of this problem. And it's not going to get better, it's going to get worse. Because debt does not go away. It accumulates. And they've not increased consumer spending or sentiment. Gadgets aren't the normal things that people were buying. In fact, people's money has been diverted mostly to bills and to paying down debt, as we see bankruptcies rising for consumers. People don't have money. By now, an increasing number of businesses and consumers are suffocating under this debt. It's just an economy that never developed the escape velocity that is needed. And it's something that Wall Street has been hyping for years to outgrow this debt. Rising bankruptcies are a turning point in this credit cycle. It's not a positive sign, what we're seeing. What we're seeing is the collapse of this credit bubble taking place. It's very dangerous. And a lot of people are not giving much credit to it because in all reality, they most likely sit down in front of their mainstream media TV that tells them everything's fine, the Dow's doing great, look at the record stock market and everything is wonderful. Hey guys, welcome to the Silver Report. First off, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for watching the Silver Report. Recently, the channel has come under fire for some content that was shared. We've received our notice to stop discussing certain subjects, or it could threaten the life of this channel, the existence of this channel. So due to some of the recent changes to YouTube's policy, it's making it harder for the Silver Report to be able to continue without your help. Without support, most of the real news media will disappear from YouTube forever. And we will be left with only the government-sponsored news. If you believe in this show, we could use your help to keep bringing you the Silver Report. Now the changes include: you cannot no longer discuss subjects of political nature, political conflict. You can no longer discuss issues related to war. Now, for example, the other day, the gold and silver price, it was buoyed by missiles being fired in Syria. You can no longer discuss current events. And due to the nature of this channel, that's pretty much the bulk of what we discuss, is what's going on in the world. And now, discussing these topics, it threatens the life of this channel and real news media everywhere. We see the role that alternative media played in the election, and the elite also see that. And what we're being left with is only Fox News, ABC, NBC. These will be the only news reporters allowed to operate, unless we have your help. So we have created a Patreon. Here is the address up here. I'm also going to leave a link in the description. If you guys believe in this show, I ask that you would contribute even $1 a month. Alright, thank you guys for joining me here on the Silver Report. As always, stay safe.